Hello, fellow armchair Imagineers. It's your podcasting compatriot, Tiki here,
And
along with.
BlueDragonFive.
And Jacon Wile too.
And we're here to talk about Big Hero 6, the series. Collectively, we are the Big Podcast 3! Yeah!
Ooh, la la
Break
la
it
la.
down to our robotic voice into like the Jack's voice. Yeah! All right, so tonight we're covering Small Hero 1, which is the 12th episode of Big Hero 6, the series. Gentlemen, well, we're gathered here today to talk about this cartoon named it Children, and we're grown-ass men. What did you think of this episode?
That was kind of pointed.
I'm just saying, like, let's just call it what it is, but let's just dive into it, folks. Let's just dive into it. What do you think of the episode?
Jacob?
It was a dig at me too. All right, you don't have to get too. It was a dig at all of us. I mean, Teen Titans Go. Have you seen the ratings on Teen Titans Go to the movies right now, Dragon?
I'm not quite thrilled at where this conversation's going right now. Jacob, what did you feel about the episode?
It's a show for families, not just kids.
It's a family picture.
But I enjoyed this episode, honestly.
I like a lot of elements in this episode, but I gotta tell you, I'm kind of middle. I think it's a solid episode. There's nothing wrong with the episode necessarily.
Dragon, I think you said the key word. I think you said the magic word of the episode there.
Middle?
I feel like this episode is a very middle ground episode, and that's not bad. It's just to say, like, it's not as good as some of the shining moments of the series, but it's definitely not in the kind of forgettable category as some of the lower moments we've had.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry. I think like this is definitely kind of a central point in quality for the show.
Yeah, I just feel it's middle in the road, but it's kind of middle of the road, but not in a bad way. It's middle of the road, and just like it's solid enough. Has like stuff to keep your interest. It's just kind of my issue is that just my thesis issue is that it's kind of generic in places. Mainly the plot. It's kind of like one of the plots is kind of generic, not bad, but just kind of like okay, it's just kind of something I've seen before. And usually, I think I guess the A story would you dictate kind of the I guess it's the A story. I guess the A story part of the A story had my attention more than the other half, and the B story was just kind of it was like standard,
Okay, well, I would say the A story would be the hero stuff because
that's what I'm saying. I liked half of the hero stuff a lot.
Okay.
The other half of it I thought was like again kind of fitting into the B story with the whole Mega Yama thing, where it's like okay, it's just kind of bear in mind they're all
spoiler alert, we get Mega Yama. After all these years of build up and hype, folks, Mega Yama.
So I guess with that
in the first episode, and now we get him. I'm so stoked.
No one hustles Yama.
All right, so I guess this
it's not just Yama, it's Mega Yama.
A good quality right off the bat too is I think our characters again, Tiki, I think you're right. We reached the groove with the series where our characters are getting even screen time. I think everyone was showcased in this one. I think they found their niche. Optimistically here, I think every episode, hopefully every episode can have like at least a balance like they kind of have here with the characters. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Mega Yama.
It's pink.
Why not? But here's the thing, Mega Yama. My issue with the Mega Yama stuff, I think it's just very passable. It's just very okay. Just kind of been their giant robot. It's okay.
Everything just felt inconsequential.
That's the thing, because here's the thing. Honestly, just the giant robot doesn't feel really Yama's speed, because Yama's all about the back alley bot fights, and he's like a henchman of like acquiring, the acquisition of stolen robot parts and stuff. He just doesn't really feel like a giant robot guy. I mean, am I crazy? Does that sound about right for anyone else here? Is it just I don't know?
No, not at all. I mean, like the thing of it is, of course, we saw Yama with the robot, like the Robo Wars, kind of the Robo fighting.
Yeah.
But giant robots, it seems like too much of an upgrade. Like I said, as I was kind of joking about kind of sarcastically with my overhype of Mega Yama, I feel like it's something that we could get there eventually, but this is Yama's like second or third appearance on the show, and it's just not something that's earned yet. You know what I mean? I think that's the problem. To quote Tom Hanks, you have to earn it.
You know, Tiki, I didn't think of it that way. I think you're absolutely right with that. Yeah, we haven't quite earned like the giant, like there's no mystique behind.
Because when I first saw Mega Yama, I was just like, this seems like Super Saiyan Goku, except we don't have like years of hype behind it, so it just doesn't have nearly the amount of impact.
By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to our live audience, Kellen O'Rourke. He's awesome, folks. I recognize this guy from some other stuff that I've done in regards to live stream. He rocks. Just give him Kellen a little shout out there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Let's see. So I guess unless we have anything else to say about Mega Yama going from bot fighter to a giant robot pioneer, I guess what do you guys want to talk about next? Talk about Trend Grove.
Yeah, Trend Grove was an interesting point. Also, hello, Louise Brooks, 1920. Good to see you.
All right. Hey. All right.
Okay, so Trend Grove, I think he was an interesting villain. In a way where he wasn't necessarily just like kind of like malicious and up to nefarious ways. More so, he was just kind of like trapped in this circumstance, and he was kind of like, I don't know. And I gotta say, guys, the one thing I do like about Yama is I like how many strings are being pulled here, because if I'm reading this right, I'm assuming that Yama is working for Okabe.
Obaki, yeah.
Obaki, yeah. I'm sorry. You know I can never get that name right.
Sure. Well, yes, Tiki, I'm under the. Here's the thing. My assumption. I'm kind of used to this thing because you see all sorts of like kind of villain team ups and like all sorts of like Spectacular Spider-Man would be a main example. I don't think you. Did you ever check out Spectacular Spider-Man, Tiki? I don't know if I've ever asked you that before.
Oh God, like maybe a couple of the Venom episodes here or there, but no, not really. It's something I'd like to see.
No, it's excellent. It's so good. I can't help recommend it anymore. Anyway, my point is,
probably the best animated Spider-Man series.
Quite possible. And again, I love 90s Spider-Man, but Spectacular just in terms of plotting and everything. It's just it's solid. Anyway, what was I getting? Oh yes. So inciting, Spectacular Spider-Man. My point is that sometimes you have villains who are probably working for other villains, but also those villains at the same time they have their own side stuff going on here, and I think that's the case of Yama. I think this is a case of just Yama doing his own thing versus him working for a grand plot with Obaki. But traditionally he's working with Obaki, so I think that's still going on. But it's just something Yama's doing on the side. That's how I read it.
That's one reason why I feel this episode feels like inconsequential. Like, you don't really know why he's doing what he does.
Yeah, you see, that's the thing, Jacob. I'm glad you bring that up, because to me, when I was first watching the episode, I kind of had this natural assumption that there was going to be a reveal about... All right, help me out here. Phonetically spell it out. Phonetically spell it out, all right? Like Hooked on Phonics style.
Okay, so O. Bach.
Bach.
Like the piano guy. Bach.
Right. Bach.
Key.
It's
the key.
Obaki.
There you go.
All right, you know what? I think that's the exercise we needed, folks. I think that's what we did. Thanks for sitting through that with us.
But yeah, Jacob, I think you're on to something there. Where I think, because honestly, this whole blackmail plot sounds like something that it kind of sounds like something Obaki might like. It kind of sounds like above Yama's pay grade.
Here's the thing. When I was watching the episode, I kind of had this natural assumption that Obaki was pulling the strings, and because of that, I was like, oh man, all right, this is cool, because after the reveal last episode, we really see the consequences of that playing out. It truly felt like some big real building going on. And then, unfortunately, I kind of didn't get the reveal with Obaki that I was expecting, and so I feel like, as Jacob so adequately pointed out, that was a very good... it was a good standalone plot for Yama, but it kind of made the episode a little, it didn't really feel like it raised the stakes in the way the last few episodes did.
Yeah. My issue with Trend Grove was with the Trend Grove plots. I mentioned this, like, the A story, like, half of the A story wasn't doing it for me. All the Trend Grove stuff really wasn't doing it for me until, like, the end where he crossed over into Hiro's story with one of the Wower, which we'll get to momentarily, because that's my favorite stuff in the episode, all the stuff with her. But Trend Grove. here's my problem. He was so obviously phony. Now, you knew something was off with the guy because he was all smiles and everything. You knew something wasn't quite right. And you knew there was something off about him. He kept kicking people out. I mean, it's very, and even they were on to him in the episode. The big heroes, Go-Go, Honey Lemon, and Wasabi. They knew something was off, specifically Go-Go, and yet they did nothing about it. They played right into his hand. I mean, you'd imagine they'd be smart enough not to. It just feels very much like a plot device that we need to get from point A to point B, and we can't raise too many questions.
It was weak. Yeah, it was definitely weak sauce.
That's the thing.
That's the thing. I feel like Trengrove himself as a personality was fun, and I like the fact that he wasn't I like the fact that he was kind of like a pawn by the end of things. But you're right in terms of the actual plotting and the B story. Absolutely, Jacob, go ahead.
And to make up for it, at least he owned up to what he did at the end.
Yeah, and that was great, and I love that. Now, here's with that, and this is the idea I wish they really explored with Trengrove, because I guess kind of following like the Kim Possible thing, we can kind of point out kind of the our showrunners, what what they've been kind of recycling plots and doing like a different turn with them. I guess this one is the here's the thing. I know I've seen this in like my life as a teenage robot. I'm just trying to think if they ever did on one of the Kim Possible episodes where you have like. I guess she's babysitted, so I guess it's been signed. Basically, we have our character in kind of like forced in with the younger crowd. Like there have been episodes of Kim Possible, and she's, when she's had to babysit the twins and done stuff like that. And I guess we've seen that with Kim Possible. Basically, you have our character in a younger setting, in a younger situation. But the thing I really wanted them to explore with Trengrove was. There was really an interesting message that I felt they scratched the surface of with commercialism and kind of fame corrupting science. Because this guy at the very start of things, they were starting on a path that really interested me. Okay, Trengrove, he was the guy who, again, Hiro assumed was, oh yeah, this was the guy who inspired Tadashi and built Baymax and everything, robotics genius, et cetera, et cetera. And he's going around, he's signing things. He has these endorsements with sports drinks and everything, which makes you think, okay, so this is a guy he's a scientist who, and again, you can clearly tell in the episode, this guy has no idea what he's talking about, and he's deferring to other people to do the work for him. So he's a name. The guy is like, it's like Bill Nye. If Bill Nye didn't know anything about science, like if Bill Nye was just a kid show host, like if that's all he was, or sorry, kids are things get confused with the other plot line we got on here. If he's just, if he's all just like, hey, it's a big and braggadocio. It's like, what if it was Neil deGrasse Tyson, but Neil deGrasse Tyson was just a brand,
Right. Like
and
Neil deGrasse Tyson was like the Wolfgang Puck of science.
Essentially, yes. And that's the thing. They didn't touch on that enough until the very end, where again the very end where he does the right thing and just comes out with it. That's great. But again, I don't feel we're saying anything there. It just makes me feel like I'm reading into what they could have done versus what they actually did. But again, I see that little fingernail scratch at what they started at the top of the episode with that sports drink running gag.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, I guess the flip side, we should talk about Wendy Wile.
Yeah, and I definitely like this character a lot, and I think they really got into some potential for storylines, kind of this generational divide between the students at this college, and it really kind of opens the door for some interesting kind of multi-timeline storytelling, I think.
Yeah, I love this character so much. She had me right at the beginning because right off the bat, she's kind of like Miss Frizzle meets Bill Nye the Science Guy. And I loved it. It was just delightful.
Louise Brooks agrees with our Kim Possible comparisons.
Oh, that's nice.
And also, Demona B has entered the building.
Hey, Demona B! All right, yeah. Now it's a party.
Yeah.
And anyway, so Wendy Wile. So you're absolutely right there. She was a great introduction series. I'd love to see more of her, but even as a one-off, I thought it said some really good. All the stuff I wanted to maybe touch on a little bit on like the other side of the issue with Trenger, we hit everything I wanted to see explored with Wendy Wile. She was we took kind of like the Kim Possible or kind of the story that we've seen before, where it's okay, our character has to learn that there's something to kind of the you can't outgrow certain things. Like Ron Stoppel is a character, for example, in Kim Possible. We always explore that with like just the site Christmas in July for a second. We talked about the Kim Possible Christmas episode, and in that, we have the whole Ron Stoppel's obsessed with the snowman Hank, the kid, the old kind of Frosty the Snowman Christmas special, and in Ron Stoppel many a time he'd be very kid obsessed with younger. He's a man child. And
okay, so hold on,
yeah.
hold that thought.
Sure.
So I think we can transition. I'm sorry. Finish your thought, and then I want to transition that into Fred.
Sure. Anyway,
Okay.
what was I getting at here? Okay. Fred. No, not Fred. No, the Ron Stoppel. Oh yes. So so we take that usual point that kind of being obsessed with kind of the like, okay, there's a merit to the kind of this younger generation thing of like, maybe you can't outgrow certain things and that's not a problem. But again, we took something where we had this wonderful reveal that that Wendy was actually the brains behind it, and the curiosity that she saw in Baymax and everything was that of a robotics genius, and she wasn't bragging about how she wasn't bragging about how, oh yes, I'm actually the brains behind everything. I did all. She's carved a very familiar niche. We're seeing that even without knowing what you know about her, she's a scientist who's giving it her all, and she's educating children. There's still merit to what she's doing, and there's a great lesson in not underestimating people. So we kind of took kind of the usual, like, there's you can't outgrow certain things, to don't underestimate people, which I think is a wonderful moral.
And despite what happened, she still shows a passion for even doing this.
Exactly, and that's a fantastic message. They didn't miss a beat with this Wendy Wile stuff. Okay, Tiki, Fred.
Oh yeah, so Fred is definitely the man child, and I agree with you, Dragon. I was totally having flashbacks to what you were talking about with Ron Stoppel. Absolutely. And can I just say the Brooke stuff was one of the best running gags of the series.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, like Brooke is so special. like of course she gets to put the baking soda in.
Okay,
I gotta tell you, I love. Okay, sorry.
No, okay, so I figured out exactly what I love about the formula with Brooke. All right, I think I've got it nailed down to a science here.
Tell us.
This is like just giglet grab bag style. So essentially, it starts in the middle of the joke. We see it in the middle of the joke, where so Fred is already bitter towards Brooke the first time we meet Brooke, and all we know about Brooke at the time is like, hey, look, she's really good at the volcano stuff. But as the episode goes on, I feel like Brooke tends to get under our skin as audience more and more and more until the ultimate kind of culmination of this running joke where we have Fred building up his backstory, like, I was born in the ashes of a giant volcano and then I became Fredzilla. He's just a guy in a robot suit. And I feel like that moment is the punchline where it's like, all right, we came into it in the middle of it for all, she just kind of looks like a little girl who's a little advanced for her age in terms of schoolwork. But no, she's a brat by the end of that. And I feel like that's a really good way to set up a punchline and pay it off.
Here's the thing what I love about it, Tiki. Here's what I love about Brooke as a character. We didn't do the obvious thing, which again, at the very least, we either saved it for the end, or maybe it's like it's still, she has a nice demeanor about her. Like even when she says, I don't really feel she says that with hate, but it comes across the phrase like, this girl's she's undermining me at every turn.
I do feel like that's the moment where we get onto Fred's side, though. That, like, if we weren't on Fred's side before then, it's like, okay, yeah, she's a problem.
Well, sure. I mean, a problem, but maybe not like out of malice that she's doing.
No, absolutely not. But
my point is that I love that we didn't do the cliche, where the cliche would be that, okay, this girl might actually be sinister and like just trying to kind of upsurp. But it still would have been at least funny. But I'm just saying this was funnier and more clever. Like, yeah, we have this pre-established relationship. We have no idea why it's at all. It comes across much better that way. Let's see. Oh yes. Real quick, I want to backtrack again. All this kind of falls under the Wendy Wile stuff when we get into some of the kind of the fun, kind of Brooke and everything at all. But real quick, I wanted to backtrack. Of course, we have a thing with Granville. We'll save maybe towards the end, at least after the.
We'll save Granville for the end, I think.
One thing I want to say about Granville, just in regards to Wendy Wile, is I wonder if Granville sent Hiro, because we know Hiro was excluded from the Trev Grove thing because of kind of a neat thing we have running with Yama, where Yama knows about Hiro Hamada, but he can't put two and two together like Harmy, and he can't figure out that Hiro's the kid in the purple suit on the Big Hero 6. But regardless. So that's why he was kicked out. I love that they called that out, by the way, because otherwise I was going to say, yeah, it's like a 2-year age difference, because I think I think Hero's like 14, and it's like everyone else is like, I think Carmi's 16, so it's literally just 2-year age difference. Why would it be excluded?
So I feel like Granville brought Hiro to Wendy because she knew that Wendy was the lab assistant and the real brains behind the operation. So it was like, it was an even bigger reward for Hiro.
I know. I think that's Granville again. Like she's doing that thing when she paired Hiro with Carmi in the first episode. It's like she has like
when she paired Hiro and Wasabi.
Yeah, exactly. I think Granville. Again, we love this Granville character, guys. We have more reasons to kind of speculate on it a little later on, but just Granville's very interesting still.
He definitely knows more than she lets on.
Jacob, you might want to come back out again.
All right.
Sorry about that, folks. A little technical difficulty. Anyway, let's talk about what really matters here. Let's talk about Gloop.
Gloop, yes.
Gloop.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I love Gloop so much. I love you basically, and you know what's so funny, Tiki?
Did you get flashbacks to elementary school like I did?
Dang.
A little bit, but you know I got a flashback more of. I got a flashback directly to the Frasier Grinch with the ecto.
Oh God, yes.
The ecto goo. Yes. Remember the ecto goo? Yeah, of
Sorry,
course,
folks. It's it's August 1st. We're still kind of coming off of our Christmas in July high.
No, but still, again, I told you like the Ooblar thing. Again, it's like something if you ever went to a grocery store or something, like you have like those, like you put 50 cents in, like you crank a little prize machine, you'll get something out, and sometimes they have those little mini versions of the Gloop or mini versions of it. Again, basically it's like kind of a malleable slime essentially. It's kind of what it is. Like it's kind of a cross between silly putty and slime. Essentially, right. That's what Gloop is. And yes, I love all the volcano, the Gloops, and everything. What I love more so is just how funny it is. And of course, it brings out the best in Baymax, as we always like to highlight, where Baymax, he's just this big kid helper in the room here, where he's so amused by the Gloop. He's Gloop. You know, he makes this purple Gloop and he's just messing around with it. I need some assistance. You know, it's delightful.
Can I make my Gloop purple?
Purple's a great color. And then what does Fred say?
Oh, of course, classic Brooke.
I'm gonna call. Can I? No, I had a better line than that. He even said, like, "Can I call my Gloop Herman? Herman's a great name."
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, you still there? We can hear it. It's like you think you might have whatever you're about to say. Maybe you cut out for a moment there.
I'm here.
I know you're here. Just anything you want to recap that you said.
Oh, no, I just didn't really say anything else.
Yeah, we're all good there then. Okay.
Man, my mic's weird tonight.
There was this one weird kid in the episode. Remember that one weird kid with like a Sid shirt?
Yes. Kind of like he kind of reminded me of Sid Phillips.
I know he was wearing Sid's shirt. He stole Sid's shirt.
Yep.
Like suspicious.
Oh man, like he's Sid Phillips. If Sid Phillips didn't grow up to be like a respectable young garbage man.
Yes, and again, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Kevin Smith making these hilarious Schindler's List Toy Story 3 comparisons.
Oh man,
he could have saved more.
Anyway, a video or a speech on that or something.
Yeah,
all the dots.
There's a Smodcast about Kevin Smith like telling the whole Schindler's Toy Box thing. If you ever want to, that still should be on YouTube. You can still find that. But what was I getting at? Oh yeah, someone. I'm sorry. The thing you're directly referring to, I think that's also. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I think I've seen that. But yeah, that kid. I mean, he was kind of bridging unconventional for me. Where it's like you have that one creepy kid, and there's always that one kid.
Right.
But I like the one bit I really liked with this kid was the whole "she lies," just to kind of like fast forward Carmi's thing of okay, Carmi, get off your high horse. We have this kid saying "she lies." Yeah. By the way, I just love how the bad guys, like Yama's henchmen, are like they're entertained by the volcanoes that they're clapping. They're advocates of young science, you know.
Oh, it's adorable.
It's nice.
And what I like about that, it's another like setup and payoff type thing, where we think that the volcanoes are going to be weaponized, but no, they're literally just used as a distraction, an adorable distraction.
Yep. The volcanoes came back in so many great ways with that, and of course the big payoff with Mega Yama 2.0, I guess,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
we basically created a baking soda volcano inside of Mega Yama.
which is great, and Fred got to save the day with Fred and Hiro use what they learned to save the day. Briefly, let's talk about Karma here. 'Cause, how do we feel about Karma in this episode?
Not great. Not great
I
for me
like
personally.
not dazzling, but I do like that. Again, we didn't go fully like she just remained the bully to the end here. I like that she had a bit of a comeuppance. Her snarkiness kind of got her kicked out. Again, more so for the whole evil plot of it all there. But when she was kicked out and she got humbled, and I really love the sorry moment. I know it was a little passerby bit, but I just love that Hero's just like he says Hero doesn't gloat to Karma. He just says sorry, and she takes that. And I thought it was really nice.
Mhm.
It's like, and then of course later on he's kind of pulls like his like Christopher Reeve Superman moment here, where he's just like,
Oh, I
hello.
did like this. I did like that moment. I'm glad you bring this up. Yeah.
He's like, oh, be sure to be nice to the hey Garmy, be sure to be nice to that kid. Be that kid.
He knows my name.
Oh. Sorry, I'm thinking of Jingle All the Way when you say it like that.
Oh god.
That was adorable.
He knows my name.
That was adorable too.
It was adorable, yes. Let's see. Oh, by the way, with the pseudoscience, of course, I love me some pseudoscience, and I love Honey Lemon's pseudoscience in the episode. I love the lightweight protective exoskeleton, which is called. It basically was like a Poloi fluid. And this Poloi fluid, what it was is that you had this. Basically, it had adhering particles. It works kind of like Luke Cage's skin, Tiki. Remember, it's like if you separate the cells, they'll basically reattach really fast. So it's like if you as she demonstrated, it was so awesome. She pokes if you fastly try to go through the material, you dip something in, you dip like a pencil into the liquid, nothing's gonna happen. But if you like charge it like a bullet or something, if you try to jam something in, you try to attack the fluid, it'll break, it'll harden and adhere together and break. I just love that pseudoscience, man. That was awesome. Look into the Poloi fluid. I wonder if that's based on real science.
I just like how it's actually based on non-Newtonian fluids too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically gloop.
God. Yeah, that's great.
Kind of like the gloop.
Yeah, it is kind of like the gloop, just like a little more kind of more combat ready. But yes, like the gloop. By the way, yeah, and again, it's kind of fluid. Like we did fluids when we did fluids and another. That's kind of cool. Oh, Gogo had some great lines in the episode too.
Gogo was a very, very dry, very sardonic character, and I loved it.
I want more Gogo like this. I just want let's keep this ball rolling with Gogo. We need more Gogo like this. And honestly, Gogo's been on the upswing lately, so everything's been going great for him. The whole back off. I'm in the zone.
Horse freak? No.
Where's our ice cream? Right.
Again, I hate to say it, but I think Honey Lemon gets the short end of the stick, though she does get the awesome moment with the volcano ball that she gets, which I think was a good display of her power set.
No, Honey Lemon got good screen time too. You're talking about. The one she had the Poloi fluid thing, and also she had the whole selfie conversation with Trev Gross. I mean, we got Honey Lemon got, and also we had this really nice thing where she was the one who was texting Hiro saying "miss you." She's really nice and sympathetic. I think Honey Lemon got her licks in this episode. She was, what you got in there.
All
right. Let's see. I
think we're about to wrap up.
We had the tour of this museum. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It was kind of like an exploratorium or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess we should talk about the Granville of it all then.
Oh, yes, of course. We need to
talk about two major reveals with Granville.
Go for it.
All right, so let's see. So we revealed that Granville. Now, again, I completely forgot about this, but when Hiro brought up, I kind of remembered it a little. Where we had like a line. Basically, it was like an introduction to like Granville was going. Like she was kind of grandstanding at the top of the series, where she basically is like kind of very braggadocio. Like I think she said like it was her first year at that SFIT, and of course the Hero, and of course we learned that was not true. We learned that Granville's been at the nerd school at SFIT for nearly 20 years. And she was there and she mentored Wendy and Trevor back in the day when they were lab partners. So she's been around, and not only had she mentored those guys, she also mentored and taught Obaki.
What a twist!
Yeah, at least it looks a lot like Obaki. And from everything I can find, everyone's saying
Uh-oh.
that that's Obaki. So it looks initially I thought it was Tadashi, but then I realized, wait a minute, on a rewatch, like no, that hair's not right for Tadashi. It has to. And it looked kind of like Obaki.
All right, so in all seriousness, yeah, this is a really cool reveal. You know, Dragon, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sit this one out. Jacob, did it not remind you of some of the cool Harry Potter plot twists we've seen over the years, where it's like Hogwarts teachers aren't what they seem?
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know. I think it had a fun. Like, of course, Harry Potter novels at the heart of it, um, you know, very much are mysteries, the best of them. So,
Oh yeah.
all right.
All right.
Okay, I think that's about it. You guys want me to run down the episode titles we have coming up for the rest of August?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Go.
Okay, so episode 13 is Kentucky Kaiju. Episode 14 is called Rivalry Week. Week spelled with WEAK, so a little bit of a play on words there.
Dramatic.
Episode 15 is Fan Friction.
Ooh.
And episode 16 is Minimax.
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 That's right.
Might be a shrinking episode. You never know.
Or a major version of Baymax.
One of those two.
Honey, I Shrunk the Baymax. All right, so just want to give a shout out to Damona B, Louise Brooks, and Kellen O'Rourke for joining us tonight. You guys are awesome as always, and stay tuned. We'll have DuckTales on Saturdays, as we always do, and we'll be going back to Big Hero 6 on Mondays. This week we got a little bit delayed because of Christmas in July. So that's about it. See you guys later.
Bye.
La, 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 la.